First contact at the edge. The vast emptiness of deep space had long since lost its romance for Sarah Reynolds. After 8 years piloting cargo runs through the outer rim, the endless black had become nothing more than a commute. Her ship, the Stellar Hauler, was hardly glamorous, a dependable Class C transport that had seen better days but still got the job done. The only company she kept was HFY, the ship's basic AI assistant, and the occasional static-filled transmission from passing vessels. Today's run was supposed to be routine. Medical supplies to the mining colony on Europa 7, then synthetic protein shipments back to Mars Station. The kind of run she could do in her sleep. But as her ship emerged from its final quantum jump at the edge of chartered space, the sensors lit up with an anomaly that was anything but routine. HFY, give me a full spectrum analysis of that energy signature at bearing 047. Sarah called out, her fingers already dancing across the control panel. The reading was unlike anything she'd seen before, a pulsing, almost organic pattern that defied standard classification. Energy signature contains unknown elements, Captain Reynolds. Configuration suggests artificial origin, but internal harmonics display biological characteristics, unable to classify within known parameters. Sarah leaned forward in her pilot's chair, adjusting the view screen's magnification. Through the quantum distortion came a shape that made her breath catch. It was a ship, but like no vessel she'd ever encountered. The hull seemed to ripple and flow like liquid metal, its surface marked with intricate patterns that glowed with an inner light. But what caught her attention most were the obvious signs of damage. Great tears in the living metal that leaked what looked like luminescent blood into space. HFY, are you picking up any distress signals? Affirmative. Receiving multiple broadcasts across various frequencies. Signal patterns indicate non-human origin. Warning. Ship's structural integrity appears to be failing. Sarah's mind raced through her options. Company protocol was clear. Unknown alien vessels were to be reported and avoided. Her cargo was time-sensitive, and any delay would mean contract penalties. The smart play was to log it and continue on her route. But as she watched, another section of the alien ship's hull crumbled away, and the vessel's glow dimmed noticeably. Whatever, whoever, was aboard was dying. HFY, begin recording ship's log, Sarah said, already plotting a new course. Timestamp 7:47 GST. Investigating possible distress situation involving unknown vessel. Initiating first contact protocols. As the Stellar Hauler drew closer, the alien ship's true scale became apparent. It was massive, easily 10 times the size of her cargo vessel, its architecture suggesting capabilities far beyond current human technology. The damage was even more severe up close. Huge sections were simply gone, while others sparked with failing energy systems. Detecting movement within the vessel, HFY reported. Multiple life signs, but readings are erratic. Sarah activated her ship's external lights, illuminating the damaged hull. Broadcast on all frequencies, standard greeting package plus engineering diagnostic data. Let them know we're here to help. For several long moments, there was nothing but silence. Then her console lit up with an incoming transmission. Not audio or video, but a complex stream of mathematical equations and engineering diagrams. Sarah's eyes widened as she began to recognize patterns in the apparent chaos. They weren't just random numbers. They were showing her the ship's systems, its damage, and how she might help repair it. HFY, analyze this data stream. Focus on their propulsion and life support systems. Analysis indicates severe damage to multiple critical systems. Their method of faster-than-light travel appears to utilize principles of quantum entanglement combined with, Captain, this technology is centuries beyond current human capabilities. Sarah smiled grimly. Maybe so, but some things are universal. Broken is broken, and every engineer speaks the language of fixing what's busted. She began prepping her EVA suit, checking the seals with practiced efficiency. Prep the cargo bay for possible emergency docking, and get our repair drones ready. We're about to make history." As she sealed her helmet, Sarah couldn't help but wonder what her old engineering professors would think. Here she was, about to attempt repairs on a ship that defied human understanding, trying to save a crew she couldn't even communicate with properly. But as she watched another section of the alien vessel's beautiful hull fade to darkness, she knew she couldn't simply fly away. ARIA, note in the log, initiating EVA at 8:03 GST. If anyone asks why we didn't follow protocol. She paused, watching the alien ship's lights flicker like a fading heartbeat. Tell them some things are more important than regulations. The airlock cycled, and Sarah pushed off into the void, her suit's thrusters carrying her toward the damaged vessel. As she approached, the ship's surface seemed to react to her presence, patterns of light flowing toward her like curious tentacles. The mathematics of its design called to her engineer's soul, even as its alien nature sent chills down her spine. First Contact was about to take on a whole new meaning, and Sarah Reynolds, cargo pilot, outer rim hauler, and now perhaps humanity's first alien ship mechanic, was ready to answer the call. The language of machines. The closer Sarah got to the alien vessel, the more she realized how woefully unprepared she was for this situation. Her EVA suit's sensors were going haywire, struggling to make sense of the energy patterns emanating from the ship's hull. The surface wasn't just damaged. It was alive, pulsing with what looked like neural patterns across its crystalline structure. "ARIA, are you getting all this?" Sarah asked, her helmet cam recording everything as she maneuvered closer to a particularly severe breach in the hull. "Affirmative." Warning: detecting unusual quantum fluctuations in the vessel's outer membrane. Recommend maintaining safe distance. But Sarah had already seen something that made retreat impossible. Through the breach, she could make out what appeared to be an internal chamber, and within it, movement. The alien crew was still alive in there. "Beginning closer inspection," she reported, switching on her suit's work lights. "The hull material. It's like nothing I've ever seen. ARIA, run a molecular analysis." As her eye processed the data, Sarah carefully extracted her diagnostic tools from her suit's utility belt. The standard scanner sparked and died as soon as she activated it near the hull. "Well, that's just perfect," she muttered. Suddenly, the section of hull nearest to her rippled, and a tendril of the living metal reached out toward her tools. Sarah stayed perfectly still, her heart pounding as the material made contact with her equipment. The diagnostic scanner came back to life, but its display had changed, now showing complex patterns that matched the mathematical language from the ship's earlier transmission. "They're not just saying hello," Sarah realized. "They're teaching me how to read their systems." Over the next hour, Sarah learned more about xenotechnology than all her years of engineering school combined. The alien ship wasn't simply a vessel. It was a symbiotic entity, part machine, part living organism, and part quantum computer. The crew didn't pilot it so much as merge with it, their consciousness becoming part of its operating system. "ARIA, I think I understand what happened," Sarah said as she worked. "They hit some kind of spatial anomaly. It didn't just damage the hull. It disrupted the quantum coherence between the ship's consciousness and its physical structure. They're literally falling apart at the subatomic level." Her scanner, now partially integrated with the alien technology, showed her the full scope of the problem. The ship was trying to maintain its quantum stability, but without the proper coherence, each attempt at self-repair only accelerated the degradation. "Like an autoimmune response gone wrong," she mused. "They need something to stabilize the quantum field long enough for their natural healing process to take hold." A new burst of mathematical equations scrolled across her scanner. The aliens were confirming her theory, but also showing her something else. Their attempted solutions, each one failing as the quantum degradation spread. Sarah felt a surge of frustration. Her cargo hold had basic repair supplies, but nothing designed to work with technology this advanced. Her eyes widened as an idea struck. "ARIA, What if we use the quantum stabilizers from our FTL drive? They're designed to maintain field coherence during jumps, if we modify them to match the frequency patterns they're showing us. Warning: removing stabilizers would render the stellar hauler unable to achieve faster-than-light travel, stranding us in this sector. Better stranded than letting them die, Sarah replied. Begin stabilizer removal sequence, and send out the repair drones. We're going to need all the help we can get. As she waited for the drones to bring the stabilizers, Sarah continued studying the alien ship's systems. The mathematical language was becoming clearer with each passing minute. It wasn't just equations, it was poetry written in physics, storytelling through quantum mechanics. The ship was sharing its history, its purpose, its very essence with her. The repair drones arrived, carefully carrying the precious stabilizers. Sarah took a deep breath, knowing that what she was about to attempt could either save the alien vessel or make things catastrophically worse. Beginning quantum field modification, she reported. HFY, monitor all frequencies. If you detect any sign of cascade failure, warn me immediately. Sarah's hands moved with practiced precision, guided by both her human training and the alien ship's continuing stream of mathematical guidance. The stabilizers had to be perfectly calibrated. Too strong, and they'd disrupt the ship's living systems. Too weak, and they wouldn't halt the degradation. As she worked, she felt something brush against her consciousness, a gentle touch that carried gratitude and encouragement. The alien crew was reaching out, their thoughts made tangible through their ship's quantum matrix. In that moment, Sarah understood that she wasn't just fixing a broken vessel. She was helping to heal a living community, a symphony of minds and technology working in perfect harmony. The first stabilizer hummed to life, its field synchronizing with the ship's quantum signature. Immediately, the degradation in that section began to slow. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. It wasn't a permanent solution, but it was a start. HFY, prepare for full integration sequence. We've got a lot more work to do, and I have a feeling our new friends are just getting started with their lessons. The alien ship's lights pulsed in what Sarah could now recognize as appreciation, and another stream of mathematical poetry flowed across her scanner. She was beginning to understand why the ship's systems seemed so chaotic at first. They weren't broken, they were evolving, adapting, learning. And now, they were teaching her to evolve along with them. Trial by fire. Sarah was deep in concentration, carefully adjusting the third quantum stabilizer, when HFY's warning cut through her focus like a knife. Multiple ships detected dropping out of FTL. Energy signatures match known pirate configurations. They are powering up weapons systems. Sarah's blood ran cold. Pirates out here weren't uncommon. The outer rim was still largely lawless, but their timing couldn't have been worse. The alien vessel was in no condition to defend itself, and with her own FTL drive partially dismantled, the stellar hauler wasn't going anywhere fast. How many ships? She asked, already moving to secure her repair equipment. 3 Corvette-class vessels and 1 heavy frigate. They are broadcasting demands for surrender. Through her neural connection with the alien ship's systems, Sarah felt a wave of concern from the crew. They were offering to divert power to their defensive systems, but she could see in the quantum readings that doing so would destabilize the repair she'd already completed. No, she transmitted back through the mathematical language they'd developed. Save your strength. I've got an idea. Pirates out here typically used old military surplus ships, stripped down and modified for raiding. Their weapons were dangerous, but their sensors were often outdated. And Sarah hadn't spent 8 years in the outer rim without learning a few tricks. HFY, initialize the cargo bay's magnetic loading system. Route all available power to the electromagnetic coils. Captain, that would exceed safety parameters by 300%. Sarah grinned inside her helmet. That's the idea. And get our repair drones into position. We're about to give these pirates a lesson in improvised warfare. The pirate ships were spreading out, moving to surround them. Their leader's voice crackled over the comm. "Unidentified vessels. This is Captain Voss of the Free Trade Alliance. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded. Resist, and we'll blow you both to scrap." Sarah responded by launching her repair drones, each carrying a portion of her cargo bay's supercharged electromagnetic field. As the small machines zipped between the approaching ships, she triggered the release. The electromagnetic pulse wasn't powerful enough to disable the pirate ships completely, but it played havoc with their targeting systems and shields. More importantly, it created a cloud of magnetized debris from the surrounding space, including fragments of the alien ship's damaged hull that still retained traces of its quantum field. The pirates' sensors, already confused by the EMP, were suddenly reporting phantom targets everywhere as the energized debris created false readings. Their formation broke as ships began firing at shadows. But Sarah knew the confusion wouldn't last long. She needed to buy more time to complete the critical repairs. Through her connection with the alien vessel, she felt them offering access to more of their systems. HFY, pipe all sensor data directly into my neural interface, and get ready to modify our shield frequency. The alien mathematics flowed through her mind, showing her possibilities she'd never imagined. Their shield technology didn't just deflect energy. It could redirect it, reshape it, even repurpose it. As the first pirate ship regained its bearings and fired, Sarah was ready. The blast hit her jury-rigged shield network, and instead of dissipating, the energy was captured and channeled through the quantum matrix she'd been repairing. The alien ship's living metal absorbed it like a plant soaking up sunlight. "That's impossible." The pirate captain's voice was filled with disbelief. "What are you?" "Just a mechanic," Sarah replied, allowing herself a small smile. "With some very interesting new tools." The pirates regrouped and launched a coordinated attack, but each blast only fed more energy into the alien ship's recovery. Sarah could feel the vessel's strength growing, its quantum field stabilizing as it integrated the captured power. But the pirates weren't done yet. Their heavy frigate moved forward, charging up its main gun, a weapon designed to crack capital ship armor. Sarah's improvised defenses wouldn't stand up to that kind of firepower. The alien crew sensed her concern and offered a solution through their quantum link. The mathematics of it were beautiful, but the risk was enormous. They wanted to merge their shield technology with her cargo bay's magnetic system to create a quantum mirror. "If we get the frequency wrong, it'll tear both ships apart," she warned them. Their response came as a wave of trust and confidence. They had seen into her mind just as she had seen into their systems. They knew she could do it. Sarah's fingers flew across her controls as she began the integration sequence. The pirate frigate's weapon reached full charge, its barrel glowing with deadly purpose. "Last chance to surrender," Captain Voss called out. "No cargo's worth dying for." Sarah checked her calculations one final time. "You're right about that," she replied. "Good thing I'm not protecting cargo." The frigate fired, its beam cutting through space like an artificial sun. At the last possible moment, Sarah activated the quantum mirror. The alien ship's living metal sang with energy as it caught the beam, channeled it through the electromagnetic field, and reflected it back with perfect precision. The pirates could only watch in horror as their own weapon's energy was turned against them. The frigate's shields crumpled, and its main gun exploded in a spectacular burst of plasma. "Your choice, Captain Voss," Sarah broadcast. "Leave now or find out what else my friends and I can do with that fancy technology of yours." She watched through her quantum-enhanced sensors as the pirate ships quickly retreated, jumping to FTL as soon as they cleared the debris field. Only then did Sarah allow herself to relax, her hands shaking slightly as the adrenaline began to wear off. Through their connection, the alien crew shared their amazement and gratitude. What she had done went beyond simple repair work. She had helped them evolve, adapt, and grow stronger. The mathematics between them now sang with new possibilities, new potentials waiting to be explored. "HFY," Sarah called out, already turning back to her repair work. Make a note in the log. I think we just invented an entirely new branch of engineering. Let's see what else we can learn before these repairs are done. The heart of the ship. Even with the pirates gone, Sarah knew their time was limited. The quantum stabilizers were holding, but the alien ship's core systems were still degrading. Through their shared mathematical language, the crew had been trying to tell her something important, something about the true nature of their vessel, but the concepts were so advanced they seemed to slip through her mind like water. HFY analyzed these new readings from the ship's central chamber, Sarah called out, studying the complex patterns flowing across her display. Does this look like a normal engine core to you? Negative. Energy signature suggests biological components integrated with quantum mechanics on a scale beyond current human understanding. Warning. Detecting increasing instability in core region. The alien crew's thoughts brushed against her consciousness, more urgent now. They were showing her images of their ship's heart, not a mechanical reactor or engine, but a living quantum nucleus that served as both power source and collective consciousness for their entire species. It's not just a ship, Sarah whispered as understanding dawned. It's a seed, a way to spread their civilization across the galaxy. The mathematics confirmed her revelation, showing her how the vessel could split and grow, creating new ships that would carry their knowledge and culture to distant stars. But the damage from the spatial anomaly had corrupted this process. Instead of controlled growth, the ship's quantum nucleus was experiencing chaotic multiplication, creating unstable copies of itself that threatened to tear the vessel apart from within. Like cancer, Sarah realized. But on a quantum level, the crew's response carried both confirmation and desperation. Their normal healing methods couldn't stop the degradation. They needed something new, something that combined their quantum technology with human innovation. Sarah took a deep breath, knowing what she had to do. I'm going to need to enter the ship's core chamber, monitor my vital signs, and maintain our quantum link at all costs. Captain Reynolds, the radiation levels in that chamber are beyond safe limits for human exposure, even with your suit's protection. We don't have a choice, Sarah interrupted. They show me what happens if that core destabilizes completely. The quantum cascade would affect everything within a light-year radius, including the mining colony I'm supposed to be delivering supplies to. Through their connection, the alien crew tried to warn her of the risks. The chamber's environment wasn't designed for human biology. The quantum energies could affect her at a molecular level, changing her in ways they couldn't predict. I understand, she told them, already moving toward the breach in the hull that would lead her to the core. But sometimes you have to risk everything to save something important. The journey through the alien ship's interior was like walking through a living dream. The corridors shifted and flowed around her, the living metal responding to her presence with curious tendrils of light. The quantum mathematics that had once seemed so foreign now felt almost natural, as if her mind was gradually adapting to their way of thinking. When she reached the core chamber, Sarah had to pause to absorb the sight. A sphere of pure quantum energy pulsed at the center, surrounded by strands of living metal that wove through space like a cosmic nervous system. But she could see the corruption spreading. Dark fractures in the quantum field where the uncontrolled replication was tearing reality itself. Beginning core stabilization procedure, she reported, though she wasn't sure if she was talking to Araya, the alien crew, or herself. Her hands moved with certainty born of both her human training and her new quantum understanding, connecting her tools to the living circuits around her. The radiation warnings in her suit were screaming now, but Sarah barely noticed. She was deep in the mathematics of it all, seeing how the quantum field could be reshaped using principles from basic human electronics. The aliens had been trying to force their technology to heal itself, but sometimes the simplest solution was the best. Like setting a broken bone, she muttered, remembering her earlier words. You don't force it to heal. You just hold it in place until it can heal itself. Sarah began rerouting power through her modified quantum stabilizers, using them not to suppress the core's replication process, but to guide it. The pirates' weapons fire had given her an idea. Energy couldn't be destroyed, but it could be transformed. The corrupted quantum copies weren't a disease to be eliminated, but a resource to be redirected. Sarah began weaving them back into the ship's existing systems, using human engineering principles to create new pathways for the excess energy. The core's light pulsed brighter, and Sarah felt the ship's consciousness merge more fully with her own. For a moment, she experienced existence as they did. A symphony of quantum possibilities, each moment branching into infinite potential futures. She saw their history, their hopes, their drive to explore and connect with other species. And they, in turn, saw humanity through her eyes. They felt her determination, her practical creativity, her willingness to risk everything to help others. In that moment of shared understanding, something new was born, a bridge between two very different ways of thinking. The quantum stabilization matrix clicked into place, and Sarah felt the core's rhythm steady. The corrupted replications weren't gone, but they were no longer chaotic. Instead, they had been woven into a new kind of quantum architecture, one that combined alien precision with human adaptability. ARIA, Sarah called out, her voice weak but triumphant. Record that this is technically first contact with an entire civilization, not just a single ship. And mark down that humans and quantum beings can apparently work together just fine, as long as both sides are willing to learn new ways of thinking. The alien crew's gratitude washed over her like a wave, carrying with it an invitation. They had more to teach her, if she was willing to learn. And they had much to learn from her in return. As Sarah's consciousness began to fade from the radiation exposure, she felt the ship's medical systems activate, adapting themselves to human biology. Her last thought before passing out was that her cargo run was definitely going to be late, but the delivery she'd made was far more important than medical supplies or synthetic protein. She had delivered hope, innovation, and a new kind of understanding to the stars themselves. Beyond the stars, Sarah awoke to find herself floating in a chamber that hadn't existed hours before. The alien ship had constructed it while she was unconscious, creating an environment perfectly suited for human recovery. Through the quantum link that now felt as natural as breathing, she could sense both concern and excitement from the crew. ARIA, status report, she called out, her voice hoarse but steady. Captain Reynolds, you have been unconscious for approximately 6 hours. The alien vessel's medical systems have successfully treated your radiation exposure. However, there appear to be some unexpected side effects. Sarah didn't need her eyes warning to know something had changed. The quantum mathematics that had once been a struggle to comprehend now flowed through her mind like music. She could feel the ship's systems not just as data, but as extensions of herself. They didn't just heal me, did they? She asked, already knowing the answer. The radiation exposure combined with their medical treatment, it changed me. The alien crew's response carried notes of apology mixed with wonder. The merger of human biology with their quantum technology had created something unprecedented. Sarah was still human, but she now existed partially in quantum space, able to interface directly with their systems in ways they hadn't thought possible. Before she could fully process this transformation, ARIA's warning tone cut through her thoughts. Multiple ships detected entering the system. Signatures matched the pirate fleet from earlier, but they appear to have called in reinforcements. Sarah reached out through her enhanced senses, feeling the approaching vessels. 7 ships now, including 2 heavy cruisers. Captain Voss had apparently decided to return with enough firepower to ensure victory. But this time was different. The alien ship had been restored, its quantum core stabilized and strengthened by the integration of human engineering principles. More than that, it had evolved, adapting human creativity and resourcefulness into its very structure. They want a show of force. Sarah smiled, feeling the ship's eager response to her thoughts. Let's show them what 2 civilizations working together can do. The pirate fleet dropped out of FTL in an attack formation, weapons charge. Captain Voss's voice crackled over the comm. I don't know what kind of tricks you pulled last time, but they won't work again. Surrender now, or—" Sarah cut him off by activating the ship's newly evolved defensive systems. The living metal of the hull flowed like quicksilver, incorporating the quantum-enhanced electromagnetic fields she had designed. Space itself seemed to bend around them as human ingenuity merged with alien technology. The pirates opened fire, but their weapons found no target. The quantum fields didn't just deflect their attacks, they transformed them, converting the energy into new patterns that strengthened the ship's systems even further. It was the same principle Sarah had used to stabilize the core, but now applied on a massive scale. "That's impossible," Voss shouted as his fleet's sensors failed to get a lock on either ship. "What are you?" "We are evolution in action," Sarah replied, her consciousness intertwined with the alien crew's. "The next step in cooperation between species, and you're trespassing in the wrong sector." With a thought, she activated the ship's offensive capabilities, not weapons of destruction, but tools of transformation. Quantum tendrils reached out, touching the pirate vessel's systems. In moments, their ships were locked in stasis, held motionless by fields that operated beyond normal spacetime. "Your ships will be released once we've departed," Sarah informed them. "I suggest you find a new line of work. The Outer Rim is about to become a lot more interesting." As the pirates watched helplessly, the alien vessel began to shift and change. The damage was gone, replaced by new structures that combined the best of both human and alien design. The quantum core pulsed with renewed energy, ready to continue its mission of exploration and growth. Through their shared consciousness, the alien crew shared their invitation again, not just to Sarah, but to humanity as a whole. They were seed ships, yes, but not for conquest or colonization. They spread through the galaxy seeking partnership, adaptation, and mutual growth. "Era," Sarah called out, knowing her next words would change everything. "Send a message to Earth Central Command. Tell them first contact has been successfully established, and I'm about to receive the greatest engineering education in human history." The alien ship's systems hummed with approval as she merged more fully with their collective consciousness. There would be challenges ahead, cultural differences to navigate, technological hurdles to overcome, and countless discoveries to be made. But Sarah knew that the combination of human creativity and alien wisdom would be unstoppable. "Oh, and ARIA, send my apologies to the mining colony. Their medical supplies are going to be a little late." She paused, feeling the ship's quantum drive powering up with capabilities far beyond her old cargo hauler. "But tell them humanity just got something much more valuable in return." The stars beckoned as the ship prepared to jump, its enhanced systems ready to take them further than any human had gone before. Sarah Reynolds, cargo pilot, engineer, and now ambassador to a quantum civilization, felt only excitement for what lay ahead. As they leaped into quantum space, the barrier between human and alien technology blurred even further. In the endless dance of possibility that lay between the stars, two species had found a way to become something greater than the sum of their parts. The universe, vast and mysterious, stretched out before them, and somewhere in the quantum mathematics of it all, Sarah could have sworn she heard the future laughing with joy at what was to come.